Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting a like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit from Archie Love Sen, and it says, Am I the Arsehole Here for not giving my fiance sister, 30 female, a +1 to our wedding for her boyfriend, 30 male, of 1 month after she blocked my fiance, 30 male. My fiance, 36 male, and I, 31 female, are planning our wedding. We've been together for many years and we recently sent out our invitations. We decided to follow a general rule for +1s. Guests only get a +1 if they are married, engaged, living together, or in a more established relationship. We're not giving casual/new partners automatic invites, mostly because of numbers, cost, and trying to keep things consistent. My fiance's sister, 35 female, has a very tense relationship with him/us. From our perspective, she struggles to have a calm and constructive conversations. From her perspective, she feels like we don't understand her and that she is always being attacked. The last time my fiance and his sister were together, things ended badly. She was shouting at a young child for what felt like a long time and was saying some hurtful things. My fiance stepped in and said something along the lines of, "Okay, that's enough." She did not take it well and asked him to leave and then blocked him. Since then, she has not spoken to him directly. When we sent out the wedding invitations, we did not give her a +1 because she has only been with her current boyfriend for about a month. We applied the same rule to everyone. Now, she has sent their dad to ask why she did not get a +1. This has annoyed us because my fiance is literally blocked by her, but she is still demanding a +1 through a third party instead of speaking to us herself, like an adult. We feel like it is unfair for her to refuse direct communication with us but still expect us to accommodate her new boyfriend, or apparently she's going to bring her best friend if her and her boyfriend are not together at our wedding. We also don't want extra drama on the day, especially given the existing tension. At the same time, I do understand that she may feel weird attending alone. Am I the arsehole for not giving my fiance's sister a +1 to our wedding when she has only been with her boyfriend for about a month and currently has my fiance blocked? I mean, for me, the biggest issue wasn't even this sort of 1 month relationship, it's that the sister has blocked the groom. That feels like such an odd dynamic. She's apparently unwilling to speak to her own brother directly, yet is still expecting an invitation that includes a guest. What? If I was in his shoes, I'd certainly be stood there thinking, is she just going to come and cause more drama in my life? At my wedding of all things, right? And then there was the line about bringing her best friend if the boyfriend doesn't come. That tells me everything. This isn't really about wanting that specific partner there for support. It's about just wanting an extra seat. And it feels like just because everyone else is getting one, I should get one as well kind of thing. The whole +1 situation was almost secondary to her having the groom blocked anyway. I don't get it. A commenter says, not the arsehole. It's not even like she'll be alone. It's a family event, so she will know a good chunk of people there. I hope he says true. I'm actually going to use that and point that out. She has a whole immediate family as well as her aunts and uncles. Another commenter says, this is the hill you die on. She already blocked her brother, so what else can she do to kill the relationship? I hope he says true. What relationship is there even? Hail Spork says, given that she blocked you, I'm surprised she got an invite. Another one says, why is she even coming at all? She has her brother blocked. She's decided to go no contact, so respect that and don't have her at the wedding. Not the arsehole for your rule, which is perfectly reasonable, and one I wish my cousin had at her wedding. It would have stopped my idiot boyfriend of the time from getting ideas. Ooh, sounds like there's a story on the back of that comment somewhere, doesn't it? But Opie replies saying, we are very close to just not having her at all. But as she is the golden child, here we go. He doesn't want to cause waves with his parents. It is all too political and we are beyond frustrated. Golden child, there it is. That's a bingo. 5 weeks later, Opie comes in with her update and says, well, I don't think the +1 is an issue anymore. Since my original post, there hadn't been any contact between my fiance and his sister. Then today she reached out to him about an unrelated matter. He responded politely, but the conversation quickly deteriorated. Turned into more accusations about past events with both of them clearly seeing things very differently. I've had the same experience with her. There is reality and then there is her reality. Spoiler alert, it is not the same. The reason I'm bringing this up is in her messages, in the past as well as today, she speaks of the different realities. It makes it very difficult to speak to her. Eventually, my fiance said that given where things stand, it'd probably be better if they just left each other alone. At the end of their conversation, he said that while they were speaking, she didn't need to worry about the wedding anymore because it would just be awkward for everyone involved. She responded, "I wasn't," which was a little ironic considering she'd previously had their dad asking why she didn't get a +1 and whether she could bring a new boyfriend or alternatively a friend. A commenter says to OP on the back of this, "I think you dodged a bullet because she would have caused drama at the wedding, but for your information, she may still try to come. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Now go and have a great day." OP says thank you. We also think she might show up, but there is a check-in at security, so we'll probably give her name to security to not let her in. Oh, absolutely, she's going to turn up. I got no doubt about that. Even with a little bit of information I know about this person, I got a good feeling she's going to turn up. But what about you guys? How do you feel about this one? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Our next story comes from Bagels Forever from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit. It says, would I be the arsehole here if I, 34 female, asked my husband's 35 male family to pay for an ER visit, which happened under their care? This weekend, my daughter Ava, 13 female, wanted to go over to her grandparents' house to spend some time with her grandparents. My sister-in-law, 30 female, was also visiting the grandparents' house and had a coonhound named Ella. Everything was going okay. My husband and I were out enjoying a date night when we got a message from Ava that Ella tried to lunge at her, but the grandma got between them. Then we get an update 2 minutes later that the dog had bit Ava and she was bleeding. We went to go pick Ava up. There was a lot going on at the grandparents' house that day. My husband started freaking out and yelling on the way there, so I told him we should be more empathetic because the grandparents did not want this to happen either, and they are having a hard time too. The sister-in-law's dogs have a history of behavioral health problems. I actually was bitten by their other dog unprovoked 2 years ago as well. However, I chalked it up to me not being smart and approaching their dog, and the dog didn't break skin. I'm a little more than frustrated that if they knew their dog had issues, that it was allowed to roam the house. This dog has barked at Ava before, and it also got the grandparent in the face last night but did not break skin. We get Ava and go home. The dog bite was on the back of the knee, and the dog did punch her skin in one spot. The puncture was pretty deep, and after an hour it was still bleeding. I called a nurse line through my insurance, and the nurse assessed us and recommended we go into ER within the hour. The ER did a CAT scan because the bite was right on the joint. The ER decided not to stitch the wound, but they cleaned it and gave us antibiotics. Ava is okay. She had a lot of adrenaline, but she is resting at home in her room and she is sore. The following day, I started talking to my husband about how much this is going to cost us and how we should talk to brother-in-law and sister-in-law when he gets back into town, or talk to his parents about homeowner insurance to see if they could help. My husband doesn't want to ask for any financial help, stating that his parents wouldn't ask us if it was reversed, and his sister does not work, so they don't have money. I countered with his sister and brother-in-law just decided to buy a house worth double the value of their previous home this year. Their home was fine, and they just upgraded, and that we could probably work out something together. He told me I've always hated his family and I'm coming after them. I told them that's not true. For example, I talked to his mum more than he does, and I was the one who calmed him down before we got to their house. I was the one who sat with his family and calmed them down and gave everyone hugs and told everyone it was okay and accidents happen. That one really hurt. We've had major difficulties with his family in the past, but we've all grown and I really do try my best. Also, I would like to say that we do have a difficult relationship with his sister. The dynamic between the sister and her parents is very weird because she has health issues. She has prioritized a lot. It has happened multiple times where the sister is chosen over us. This makes asking for this even harder as I know what is going to happen. Also, the grandparents have rented out a condo to go to the beach in a few months out of their own pocket for a family vacation for all of us. So it's difficult to want to put a financial burden on someone else. I'm not asking for someone to write me a check tomorrow. Ava is safe and at home. Bills aren't due immediately, but I'm asking my husband to consider asking his family for help since it was something that happened under their care at their home with their dog. In our state, the dog owner is liable for the bite. I would like to have the family consider if the home insurance would help or if there was a way where money can be set aside for payments. I have a high deductible plan. I've been sued for my medical debt twice by this hospital for unpaid bills, and I don't want to do it again. It is a big financial burden for us, but we wanted to make sure Ava was okay. I don't feel like we should have to front the bill. The first commenter said not the arsehole. Sister-in-law should be paying the bills and her dog should be put down. Opie says they were talking about putting the dog down in front of Ava too. They're in a country, always at home, so I don't want them to put down the dog and Ava to feel like it's her fault. They just need to find ways to keep the dog restrained away from other people or get the dog behavioral help. Wyvern replies to that and says, I would get ahead of this and explain things that might get to your daughter when she's had a bit to adjust. Make sure she knows that whatever happened or happens isn't her fault. No contact between her and sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Also, I'd make sure this hasn't completely caused a fear of dogs. They're everywhere, and I hate to see people afraid of them. Opie says thank you. I already talked to her a bit about it. We actually have our own doggies, 2 labs. When we got home last night, she cried and was loving on them. I think that will help her fear. I was also bit by a dog a few years ago and a cat, and my mum was bit by a dog as a kid. I guess we have bad luck. What I'm saying is I understand how traumatic it can be, so I'm trying to help her out. Tricky Parsnip says Ava said she feels it was her fault. What happened prior to the dog lunging? I.e., was the dog napping and she stepped on the tail when trying to pass the dog? Opie says no, she just feels guilt it was unprovoked. We had the same story from everyone involved. Ava was cutting apples, the dog howled at her, they thought the dog needed to go potty, so sister-in-law took the dog out. The dog came back in and went back up to Ava. Ava jumped back a little bit because she was scared and then the dog lunged for her. Fenway says, I would say you need to not bring your daughter there again until she pays. Maybe a bit more subtle and GoFundMe. I hope animal control is involved. Opie says I totally get that too. I hesitated even letting her go this time. My mum's senses were tingling, but she's also 13, so I try to let her have a bit of decision-making abilities. Top Difficult says, tell the sister if she doesn't pay the bills, you will report the dogs. Side note, the dog should be reported though. Opie says fully agree. However, they live 2 hours from us and she doesn't drive, so not sure how that works. Should I report it to their county? Turbulence says, you're not wrong for wanting help with a bill, but it should be the sister-in-law that you ask for it. It's her dog and the grandparents' homeowners should have to be used. It will increase their homeowners' insurance. Opie replied and was downvoted for this comment and said, that makes sense to me. The in-laws always help out the sister-in-law because they're always talking about how they don't have money. Again, I don't know their financials, but they did buy a new house. I would like my husband to call the brother-in-law when the brother-in-law gets back into town. He is the one who manages the finances and works. Also, he's the level-headed one, so I think it'd be easier to approach. I don't want their insurance to go up either. I was just thinking maybe it wouldn't be as much as a burden to sister-in-law if the insurance covered it. I also highly expect the grandparents to try and pay for the sister-in-law if they knew we were asking for money, which I don't want them to have to do. Oddworth replies saying, you're totally enabling both irresponsible and potentially dangerous behavior. Stop justifying a dangerous dog, an irresponsible owner, and start protecting your kid. Opie says, okay, well, I will go scorched earth. My husband will hate me. My in-laws will not invite us to vacation that's supposed to happen in September on my daughter's birthday, and I'll put a huge dent in my marriage and family relationships. It's not easy to make decisions, it's not black and white. Another commenter says, everyone sucks here. You literally left your child in a home where dogs roam freely and you have been bitten. So this is a known issue. The greater assholes are the owners of the dogs that attacked humans. You report the bite to the authorities, you sue them for compensation, and you move on with your life. Their dog hurt someone. It's their responsibility to pay for damages. Opie says, it's fair to say that, and it's okay to judge. However, we did not know the dog would roam free. When the dog is at the in-laws, it's typically outside on a lead or in a cage. Again, my mum's senses were tingling, but it was an accident all around. No one wanted it to happen. The other dog who bit me passed away of health issues. This was a communication issue on my part, so I can see your point. I should have confirmed the dog would be put up. I just assumed the best and didn't expect the worst. They are still family, and I trusted them. A commenter, who was downvoted, says, yes, you're the arsehole here. If you know your in-laws don't have the money and that the owner of the dog doesn't have a job, then why even consider trying to get money from them? Your insurance should cover the ER visit as well as the CAT scans, and even if it doesn't, it was your decision to call a nurse and to take their advice to take Ava to the ER rather than clean Ava's dog bite and put some Neosporin on it yourself. Opie says we cleaned the bite and it was bleeding for an hour. It was something we actively reviewed before we took her to ER. I have a high deductible health plan and we'll have to pay everything towards that. One more comment from Southern Rain who says, if you've been sued twice for unpaid medical bills, why have you not gotten PPO insurance instead of high deductible so you don't have bills you can't pay? This is something I'd 100% have my own health insurance pay. It wouldn't even be a second thought. If it were a stranger's house/stranger's dog, maybe I'd think about having their homeowner's insurance cover it, but not if it's family. Opie replies saying it costs 200% more to be on PPO. It'd be an extra $450 a month. It's a lot, and even with PPO it's still a $2,000 deductible, then 80/20 coverage instead of $6,000 plus the extra premium. It would actually cost about the same out of pocket in the end. Even if I had PPO today, I'd still end up paying. The OP comes in with their update and says, "Hi all. Yesterday I posted about my daughter Ava being bit by my sister-in-law's dog. I deleted the post because it's been a very emotional few days and frankly, I couldn't handle the internet. A lot of you said to validate that the dog was vaccinated for rabies. I'm so thankful for everyone's seriousness because it wasn't vaccinated. Today I called the sheriff and reported the bite so we can take next steps to make sure the dog is quarantined and managed appropriately. I told the family so they were aware. I'm following up with Ava's primary care tomorrow to see what the medical opinion is on if we should go ahead and get the rabies shot. Their office is now closed or else I'd call now. My husband went over to their house today and confirmed the sister will pay our bills. This was covered without any hesitation. I'm still not okay with my husband's response. We slept apart last night and we have therapy this week, which we'll use to find a way to heal. Lastly and sadly, the family has cancelled the vacation, which we figured would be the response. Thank you again for really pushing for the confirmation on vaccines. We're taking every step to make sure the dog is quarantined and our daughter's safety is top priority." People were commenting asking, "Why are you waiting to ask your daughter's doctor about rabies shots instead of getting them immediately?" Opie responded saying, "Hi, I'm not sure I understand what you mean on vaccinating my child to begin with. It's not a preventative shot that's offered here. We did not know the dog was unvaccinated until tonight, and I followed up with a nurse and medical advice and the sheriff. I'm following exactly what the medical professionals are telling me to do. Absolutely promise I don't want my daughter to die of rabies, and I'm doing everything in my power to protect her." And yep, exactly, the dog is quarantined. There is a reason dog to human rabies transmission is low in the US. It's because our system works and I'm following the system and every single professional advice I've gotten in the last 24 hours. I'm doing everything I can. That's good to know, so thank you for sharing. I'm following up again with a primary tomorrow and we have an appointment Thursday, so I will get medical advice on next steps on what to do. People were saying, why wasn't the ER already offering rabies shots and how did the dog end up being unvaccinated? Opie says, "I agree. I guess they took this dog to the vet multiple times this year and the shot wasn't offered, but it is on the owner as well for not understanding. The rabies vaccine here comes with a paper and a tag." Next question was, why isn't the dog being euthanized to test for rabies? When did the bite happen? Opie says it's not dead in our area. You have to quarantine it for signs of rabies for 10 days. This is why I'm also calling Ava's doctor to follow medical advice. No, and it happened on Saturday. Another question was asked, since the dog is known and can be quarantined, what are you doing now? Opie says, "Agreed. This is what I was told, and this is a dog who has owners we know. It wasn't loose. Very reassuring, thank you. I'm on the phone with the nurse now. The good news is we know the dog, it wasn't a stray or on the street. I just don't want to take any chances, so I'm asking the nurse for medical advice. The bite was on the knee. The nurse gave me the protocol and I went over the info. The dog will be watched for 10 days. I'll follow up with my pediatrician on the phone tomorrow and an appointment on Thursday." Another question that was said, people are saying you should ignore the nurse and animal control and immediately get rabies treatment. Why are you waiting? Opie says, "I'm following the instructions I've been given, but I will see if I can get a hold of an on-call pediatrician. I just called the nurse line for a pediatrician and I'm following protocol from animal control and the nurse. Yes, of course, I would not leave that information out. I told the nurse exactly what happened. I'm not messing with my daughter's health. I did call and I'm calling again in the morning." Another commenter says, "Why didn't you vaccinate your daughter against rabies beforehand?" Opie replies saying, "What do you mean not vaccinated my kid? You've said this twice. I'm not against vaccinating my child. I have an appointment on Thursday with a primary. I called the emergency on-call nurse tonight. I called the sheriff's office. I called my animal control and I'm calling an actual pediatrician again tomorrow. I'm following every single professional person's direction." Okay, got it. Agree in the US it's not even offered or talked about. I just got a 12-year shots last summer. We don't have that option here. And the last one that says, "How did you react when you learned the dog wasn't vaccinated for rabies?" Opie says, "I agree. I was so angry I hung up on my husband when he told me. I don't know, I found some of the comments on this one absolutely wild. Sure, the way that they was turning Opie into a villain, etc. When Opie took her to ER, reported the bite, followed up when she discovered the dog wasn't even vaccinated against rabies. And then there were some which I found odd comments anyway. I'm obviously from the UK, and it was asking, why didn't you vaccinate your daughter against rabies beforehand? I've never heard of many people, like, unless you're in a profession or something that's needed it, of having a rabies vaccine beforehand. We certainly don't get it in the UK, I don't think. As I said, unless it's something you work in every day, I guess. And even one of the commenters going against OP for just taking their kid to ER. What? But I'm going to turn this one straight to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's have another story. Now, our next story comes from the Confessions subreddit from a throwaway account and says, I'm in love with my best friend and have been for 12 years. I literally downloaded Reddit for this and I feel so stupid. I've read a few of the confessions here and they're all like, wow, but I've never told anyone this and I genuinely feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm in love with my best friend. I have been since we were 15. Now we're 27. The way he smiles, talks, laughs, walks, bro, the way he breathes makes me fall deeper in love with him. It's like every day I unlock a little more about him and I can't help it. He's the greatest guy I've ever met. He's funny and so kind and respectful. He's just a genuine person and always makes sure you're okay. Seeing him smile makes me smile almost instantly because he's just that kind of person. It sounds cliche, but it says doesn't. I'm assuming it does light up a room. He always done whatever it takes to be there for me. When my car broke down, he basically gave me his car for 3 weeks and rode the bus everywhere. He literally skipped one of his soccer practices when we were in high school because I was crying and took me to get ice cream. He remembers the little things like how I said I like coconut creamer specifically in my coffee, or how I have to fall asleep with something playing in the background. Anytime I'm over at his house, he sleeps on the couch and lets me take his bed so I can have the TV on. It probably sounds stupid, but it means so much to me. He means so much to me. When I'm with him, it's like everything is fine in the world. Even when things are bad, I know that I'll be okay. He has a stable job, his own house, a car. He's basically the perfect guy. I just don't know how to tell him, and honestly, I probably never will. I've dated a few guys before, but only for a very little, and we never did anything together. I just kept looking for him in all of them and I couldn't find it. He's also dated a few girls, but they were more long term, and he's been single for like 8 months now. I'm just scared that if I tell him I'll ruin everything. Right now we're perfect. What if I tell him and it's awkward, or he thinks it's weird, or he hates me, or he doesn't want to be friends anymore? I just don't want to lose him. He's everything to me. So if being his friend for the rest of my life and never telling him how I feel keeps us together, then I'll do just that. I'll be his best friend, and he'll be my world. I'll probably be there for his wedding, and I'll have to smile and clap as the man I would literally die for walks into a new life with another woman. It sucks to think about, but it's just the way it is. If you read this, thank you for listening to me ramble. I'll probably never say this out loud, but hey, at least I typed it right. Why has this got me so nervous? Grey Dragon says, so here's the thing. Life is made up of moments of absolute courage. 30 seconds can change your life. You're an adult now, so have the adult conversation. Tell him how you feel. Tell him how you'd like to try. If he's a true friend, you may be the best together. If he's a true friend and it doesn't work, you'll still be friends. But it starts with 30 seconds of courage and a conversation. Opie says, you're right. I'm going to talk to him about it. I'm almost 30. I can't keep hiding how I feel. Thank you. Bloody hell. Opie was easy to convince there. General Late says, the coconut creamer and the TV thing got me. He really loves you and he just doesn't know it yet. Opie says he always notices things like that, and it's one of the things I love the most about him. Ben says, what if OP, he's in love with you as well and he's thinking the same? You never know until you go for it. Commenter says, if you don't speak up now while you're both single, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. You'll always wonder what if and picture a life that never happened. The worst that can happen is he won't feel the same way. You've been friends long enough that it probably won't hurt the friendship, but on the flip side, this is the kind of thing that can end in a lifelong happy marriage. Give it a shot. Ask him if he ever wondered if the two of you could be more, and if he's willing to give it a try to find out. Opie says, thank you. These comments have convinced me to give it a go. I'm scared, but I gotta at least try. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, I'm so nervous for OP right now. But I gotta say, I'm pretty much with the comments on this. Yeah, imagine watching him later on if he marries someone else, and I think that'd be torture. But Opie does come back into the post and says, guys, I did it. I told him and it went fucking great. But then with a crying emoji. I don't know how to type this so that it's short, but basically I invited him over and sat him down and I said I had something important to tell him. I don't remember exactly what I said because I was just sort of rambling, but I was pretty much saying how he was a great person and how I've been feeling like this for a while and just wanted to get it off my chest. I said that I had feelings for him and have for a while and just wanted to know how I'd feel about maybe trying to be more than friends. And dude, I don't know why, it might have been because I had some wine before he came over to loosen my nerves or the fact that I'm on my period, but I started crying, like dead ass sobbing, and went on like a little rant about how I didn't want to lose him and if he didn't feel the same way it was totally okay and I completely understood. The entire time he was quiet and I thought I was done. And then he just burst out laughing and hugged me. And then he kissed me. I swear to God, I think I died, went to heaven and was reborn. We talked and he basically said that he felt the same way and has for a few years, he just didn't want to mess up the routine we had. Then, some adult decisions were made, and honestly, I see why everyone would rave about it when I was younger. It was my first time and it was great. After we took a shower together, he gave me a massage and ordered tacos. It was really cute. Thank you to everyone that convinced me to tell him, cause I would have never gotten the courage. He's laying next to me right now and laughing like an arsehole as he watches me write this. I showed him the post I made and he said I had to give an update, so here you go. He keeps making fun of how long I liked him for. He's never going to let this go. I can't believe I like this idiot. Commenter says, congrats on finally getting that off your chest after 12 years. That's a hell of a weight to carry around. The crying part got me though. I would have been the same way. Wine and period hormones teaming up is basically a recipe for emotional chaos, but sounds like it worked out perfectly anyway. Him laughing and then just going for it is such a classic move. He's probably sitting there the whole time thinking, finally, while you were rambling. Enjoy your tacos and you're idiot. You earned this. Opie says thank you. Yeah, it probably wasn't the best moment for me, but hey, it worked out. Commenter quote saying he's laying next to me laughing as I write this and then says, is the ending everyone deserved. 12 years and tacos. Perfect. Doom Cupcake says 12 years is honestly a long time to sit on something and I respect the commitment to the bit. Opie replied saying yeah, time honestly just flew by. One day we're in high school and skipping class to hang out, and then next we're in our late 20s. These bloody onion ninjas around here again. I think that's enough Reddit for today, isn't it, guys? Yeah, I'm going to leave it there with you. But what do you guys make of today's collection of stories? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me, so thank you so much for being here. Truly, it is absolutely amazing. I appreciate you every day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.